Welcome to Daily Rising, Ignite Everyday Excellence. I'm Dawn D'Amico, your mental performance mastery coach, here to bring you daily mindset and motivation strategies to fuel your success in every area of life. Get ready to ignite your excellence with today's show. I need to share this incredible story about my coach and a conversation that he and I were having surrounding it. Now, he's run marathon before. He's an Ironman, so he's done a full Ironman. And he was approached by his coach about 6 days from a marathon that was happening near where he lived. This guy invites my coach and another guy out to do this marathon that none of them have trained for. Mind you, this marathon took place at the end of August, and none of these guys had even run more than 5 miles consecutively during this calendar year, right? This isn't something they were training for. Yet they wanted to really challenge themselves mentally, physically. They went out, they do this thing, they complete it, which is insane in itself. But what we were talking about through the conversation was his first marathon. He trained for a full year. Okay. This one, he didn't train for at all, went out and did it. The crazy part, the difference in his chip time, the difference in the time it took him to run it was only like 10 minutes difference. He was only about 10 minutes slower with no training. Also, during this marathon runs right past his coach's house. So at like mile 20, he and his coach stop, they visit with his wife, swing on the swing with the kids for like 5-10 minutes, and then they go carry on with their run. So how was he able to do this, right? He didn't formally train for this event. Well, one, he's been training all year, not specifically for that, but he is always ready to go. His body, his mind is always ready for this challenge. He's been physically working out hard, so he's basically always marathon ready. And mentally, he's always marathon ready. And what we were talking about was, we think one of the biggest reasons that he was able to complete it in such a solid time was because he already knew what to expect. Mentally, he already knew what was coming and knew how to get through some of those roadblocks. Then we were talking a little bit about when I had my knee replaced. I had it replaced a couple years ago. That's a really challenging recovery for a lot of people. Well, to me, I was so mentally prepared that it was almost like nothing. Because way back in college, when I tore my ACL, tore my meniscus, had all sorts of problems, that surgery, that rehab process was so demanding and so challenging and so hard. And I remember it. So I had prepared myself knowing a little bit more of what to expect. I knew what questions to ask. I knew to surround myself with the right people. I knew physically what to do prior to and following to set me up for the best chance of results, right? A lot of this comes down to our mindset. Yes, physically, there are things happening. But so much of what goes on physically is connected to what we do mentally. And the better prepared we can be mentally for something, mentally preparing, mentally rehearsing, and then physically preparing the way we need to will allow us to be so much more successful. So I wanted to share that story because I think it's incredible. I am so impressed and proud and inspired by what he did. But think about the challenges that you face in your life. Think about the things that you have coming up. How can you mentally prepare yourself, mentally rehearse what you're going to do to set yourself up for the best chance of success? Our bodies are so much more capable than we realize, but when we can make that mind-body connection, we can be unstoppable. Thank you for listening to another episode of Daily Rising. If you enjoyed today's show, drop a review and share it with your friends. Don't forget to check the show notes for a recap of today's message, along with valuable resources and opportunities to connect further and ignite your excellence.